Hi, welcome back to the Pan-Africanist Series. Now this time I want to speak to you about international law. How I'm going to do it is going to be a bit of a twist. I am heritage from Guyana, South America. As some of you know, there's been a discovery of oil there. Now there is also another issue with Venezuela and Suriname that want to claim not just the land, but also the seas. Maritime law. Now the problem here is that when you have this kind of dispute, unfortunately it goes on for many years, and if people have been watching the news with Venezuela, I think you should maybe put two and two together and realize that's what that's really about, because Venezuela has been challenging Guyana for that oil.
Now hold that thought.
I did a master's in politics of Africa, and one of my assignments, it was a 4,000 word assignment, was in international law. So what I've done is I have collated all this information and put like a little twist on this, and involved me being here in Gambia. At how would it be proven that I'm here in Gambia, for instance? Well, it could be through social media. How would it be proven that our people are doing well? It will be to do with what we own, our presence, and also how influential we are in Gambia.
Okay, now back on the thought.
What's happened is this. Many years ago, I'm talking centuries ago, the Dutch went over to Guyana and they claimed that land. But how they claimed it was through occupation, to do with the people that were living there, the indigenous people. There is a treaty called the Treaty of Munster, and there've been many other treaties as well.
I found the draft of my assignment, so please have a read. And shh, I did find a few errors in this. Obviously because it's a draft.
Spain wanted to claim that land through occupation, but were not able to prove this because the Dutch had the indigenous people speaking Dutch, and they had given the native people their names. Because there was proof of occupation, they were able to keep the land through the treaty. Now, if we are to talk about the occupation of, let's say, Caribbean people being in a country or city, I'm formerly from the UK. There is not much to prove that we've been in the
UK.
Only the Notting Hill Carnival,
Which we just own barely the intellectual property rights for that. And assisted by a few white people during its time of existence.
which some of you know. I'm actually on the go of making Notting Hill Carnival a national treasure by law, so that we're able to receive funding from it every year, permanent funding, without there being any type of complaint or any kind of abuse from the media or broadcasters of how terrible and how bad Notting Hill Carnival is. But if we are able to have it funded, then we know that the police and the government will be able to back such an event that takes up to 400 million a year. Now, you might be asking yourself, why am I now bringing this up for being in Gambia? Well, what proves that there are Caribbean people or American people or any other people that are here in Gambia? The occupation would be some kind of rental space, but hopefully living space, nonetheless business space. Yes, there are restaurants here. There are a few of us that have resorts, and there are people that have their small businesses, but there's no headquarters. There's no Diaspora hub. There's no Diaspora center. There's nothing that shows that if something were to happen, we have a strong backing, a strong team of people, a unified foundational base that will have a protection upon the people of, let's say in this instance, the Caribbean people.
And some people have been in Gambia up to 25 years, and the things that I've mentioned, none of these exist here in Gambia.
So why would this be a problem? Well, speak to the Asians. Do you ever hear of Asian people being injured, dropping off or dying? Lebanese? Any other racial groups? Jews even, just dying because somebody went out and killed them? But you do find that the African Americans, the African Caribbeans, we seem to be the ones that die. What if something were to happen to me? Do I have representation? You've seen Malcolm X. When something happened to one of the brothers, there was representation. If there's an accident or some kind of incident, is there representation? Is there somebody to come out for you? That's what I'm talking about. And that should involve Pan-Africanism, right? Now, does that mean that I am unsafe in Gambia? No.
Wisdom would tell you that if people are in one mind, they should move together. People that move together will certainly be taken seriously. This would certainly secure confidence in both the diaspora and the natives. This would then reassure the diaspora that they're in safe hands, and the natives will also be very happy about that.
So the point here is this. If you're going to go to a country, please go and check it out inside out. The very place that you would like to live. Please don't come here just on one trip, because you know the first trip's going to be a holiday. Come here as though you're looking to see what it is living in this place. Check out the laws, check out the policies, check out the people, even the languages. And then even if there is an organization that represents your original place of where you even come from. So if you're straight from Jamaica, come here and see if there are any Jamaicans and if there's an organization. Yeah. And if you're from the UK, and you're also Caribbean, but you can still be represented from the UK as well as being from the Caribbean. So it could be Guyana, it could be Barbados, wherever it is, or there just is a Caribbean association. There should be some kind of diaspora unit that may even represent just those that are from the diaspora. Now, does Gambia have that? Yes, they do. They do have it on a governmental policy or on a governmental front. But in terms of on a small unit or small basis of things, not really like that. And should they really have that to that scale? Maybe not, because you'll find that Asian people, they'll have their own organization, their own personal organization that could be even being run through a WhatsApp if we're going to be that simple. But in most cases, it'll be bricks and mortar. Please go and check this out. If not, somebody will come and check you out.